Buenos días y buenos a todos. Good morning and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community that is dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us on our live Zoom call, please contact me for the link and the password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org. And you'll find the link on both the landing page as well as on the top of the weekly replay of each spiritual message. So today is Sunday, August 11th, 2024. And we are continuing our annual theme of a grand rising. And this monthly topic for August, which is unstatus quo. The topic for today is Trauma 101. So at this time, I'd like to once again truly welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Puerto Vallarta, whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. We teach a philosophy that honors all faith traditions. So whatever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you. Everyone is welcome here. We value each and every one of you. So here we teach a philosophy called the science of mind, and it's based on new thought and ancient wisdom. We offer spiritual tools and principles to promote spiritual growth, and we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, was asked to provide a concise definition of this teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer an inspirational message. And we are meeting at 10 a.m. on Zoom, as well as in person at 12 o'clock noon on Sundays. During the summer months, please connect with me so that I know you are going to be coming so that we can be available to greet you. So we have a grand purpose, vision, and mission statement. And all of these can be found on our website under their own drop-down topics. So there's more details on our website. But in the meantime, as we do each week, let's review them together. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So today's world can be incredibly challenging to navigate. War, abuse, neglect, poverty, violence, loss, and so much more that seems to touch the majority of people everywhere in some way or another. Since trauma is a part of the human experience, isn't it time we talk about it? So how can we provide solutions and be part of the solution, working together to heal individually and collectively? So this is what we're going to talk about today. And it's crucial that we begin to discuss these often taboo topics, such as trauma. And very few, if any, people are immune to trauma, including individuals that experience abuse or adverse child experiences, ACEs, poverty, medical trauma, or collective experiences of war, displacement, terrorist attacks, mass shootings, and natural disasters, to name just a few. Science of mind provides a strong foundation of principles to support and facilitate healing. And yet, we must go beyond knowing the truth in spiritual mind treatment to acting in ways that promote healing, wholeness, and compassion in our communities. Marcia Sinister said this: self-acceptance gives us the strength to get better if we're ill, if we're ill, and stay well if we're fit. Self-acceptance joins us together at the very point of rupture. So in the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes says, we are not so cold-blooded as to say a person with pain that there is no such thing as pain. That is not our idea or purpose. We admit the fact. It is quite different. It is quite a different thing to admit its necessity. It's clear that Ernest Holmes wanted us to understand that it's important for us to listen and have compassion for one another's experiences. As a spiritual community, we're not meant to diminish or disregard someone else's pain. One of the valuable gifts of being part of a community comes with acknowledging and loving each other through our healing journeys. The Science of Mind philosophy is meant to inspire and connect us to each other and to our own perfect understanding of the divine. Mark Nepo wrote this: the truth is that telling heals, not just once, but as a way of being that filters in the heart of its debris. So how does trauma affect us? Trauma can have profound and lasting effects, impacting physical, emotional, and psychological well-being. It can show up as anxiety, depression, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, concentration and memory issues, chronic pain, sleep disturbances, substance abuse, self-harm behavior, relationship difficulties, and so much more. An adverse childhood experience, or ACE, has this method of scoring. And this score is a metric used to identify the significance of traumatic experiences that a person may have faced as a child. Research has shown that the higher someone's ACE score, the more likely they are to struggle with physical and mental health issues. Though an ACE score doesn't define a person, the more they are to struggle with physical and mental health challenges. And the score doesn't define a person. The physical and mental health professionals use this information to help create a path for healing. In the Science of Mind, we teach people to treat and move their feet. But healing trauma and physical and mental illnesses often requires more action to be taken beyond prayer. To heal, we must listen to the inner presence within that guides us to the right course of action and treatment. Most of us have no trouble praying for physical conditions to be healed instantly, but how often Have we met someone who is struggling with addiction or who has been going through some battles with their mental or physical health? So let's break the status quo and start having healing conversations about trauma, addiction, and how the science of mind can be applied to support people who are dealing with these challenges. So let me take you back and share a story. I married young and for the wrong reasons. I then found myself in a very trauma-filled relationship with a man that was abusive in every possible way. I became suicidal and eventually opened up to my boss at work, who referred me to our human resources department and was then offered counseling and legal advice as part of our employee benefits. With the help of coworkers and longtime friends, I was able to escape the marital home with my young children and literally the clothes on our backs. I stayed with some friends and family as I was afraid to be alone in case he found us. I suffered from anxiety, depression, flashbacks, nightmares, and I was always looking over my shoulder. I was basically living in fear. I attended as many support groups as I could find, and then I was introduced to the Center for Spiritual Living. I took all the courses and workshops offered so that I could learn more about myself and how to bring back my power. I think it was my first year of practitioner studies that really made the biggest impact for me. I learned that I was no longer a victim, or I didn't have to be a victim anymore. I was a survivor. And through my sharing of my experience, I was able to help others seek out the support that they needed in order to allow themselves to heal as well. This past week, I was at the Convention of the Americas in Chapala, and I attended a workshop on family constellation therapy. And I must admit, I didn't know what I was getting into, and I didn't know what to expect. Most of us have heard the expression that hurt people. And there's often a generational dysfunction of harmful patterns that we might not be aware of because we are involved in the story and we can't see the forest through the trees. We're too involved in the situation and we can't see the whole situation. There's an energy that perpetrates until we break the pattern. We are then able to see the depth and the breadth of the drama, and we can see the patterns and how it can affect so many people that um, causes us to think and do things differently. My experience was similar to many forgiveness circles that I've attended. Awareness is curative. We can't heal what we don't see. And it's important to heal the cause and not just the symptoms. For me, as a witness, it was very healing. Michael Singer wrote this in The Untethered Soul. He said, when you open, you bring more energy into the system and it can heal. Energy can heal. And that's why love can heal. So many people have experienced trauma through spiritual centers, religious institutions, and other spiritual traditions. Many LGBTQIA plus people were raised in religious traditions where they were taught that they would burn in hell for eternity simply for being who they are and had been sent to conversion therapy. People with marginalized identities and those who are differently abled may find themselves excluded from some centers for spiritual living. But as we practice the unstatus quo, we are often open to explore areas where we haven't talked about as much. And we welcome everyone to the conversation. To participate in a grand rising, we must be willing to have the hard conversations to heal our trauma together. So let's talk about it. Tricia Hersey wrote this: resting is about the beginning process of undoing trauma so that we can thrive and evolve back to our natural state, a state of ease and rest. So, like myself, many spiritual people claim to be huggers. However, it's not okay to reach out to strangers or people that you aren't as familiar with without their consent. This small act, while intended to be an invitation or hugging, often can be a trigger to people with trauma, and sometimes to the point where they're uncomfortable. To become trauma informed, we must not only learn to speak to each other in a way that is uplifting and supportive, but we also have to be able to shift from the status quo and be willing to do something different from the norm. And this may mean that we always ask someone before hugging or say thank you when someone says no. It's important that individuals feel physically and emotionally safe around us. Building trust through clear and consistent communication fosters a connection. Allow others to have the time and space to be able to open up and allow a healing process. Encourage others to express their needs and their preferences without taking it as a personal insult. By becoming trauma informed, we not only invite people into our circle as they become more comfortable to be authentic and vulnerable, but respect goes a long way to promote healing, resilience, and empowerment for those that have been affected by trauma. In a Western culture, we often dispel the indigenous methods of healing and the power of healing circles, which can include shaking, such as shaking of the bones, stomping, yelling, screaming, sweating, such as temescals and sweat lodges, and others, such as laughter yoga. These ceremonies of shared experiences create a strong sense of community and connection, as well as a healing. There's a Native American proverb: healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls our lives. And Sean Ginrett, in the book Four Pivots, wrote this: we are all wounded and carry the shame and pain in ways we are unaware of, yet we are not equipped with the skills or the awareness to heal our trauma. In the book, The Body Keeps the Score: Brain, Mind, and Body, the Healing of Trauma, Bessel van der Kolk wrote this: beneath the surface of the protective parts of of trauma survivors, there exists an undamaged essence, a self that is confident, curious, and calm, a self that has been sheltered from destruction by the various protectors that have emerged in their efforts to ensure survival. Once those protectors trust that it is safe to separate, the self will spontaneously emerge, and the parts can be enlisted in the healing process. So it's crucial that we begin to listen both to people as well as supporting one another through our healing journeys, rather than diminishing or disregarding that pain that naturally comes with being human. As Robert Anton Wilson reminds us, under the present brutal and primitive conditions on this planet, every person you meet should be regarded as one of the walking wounded. We have never seen a person not slightly deranged by either anxiety or grief. We have never seen a totally sane human being. And bearing this in mind, it becomes even more important to find the connection of our divinity and our humanity, allowing the science of mind principles to lead us to real world practices that support our growth and our healing. Paraphrasing Ram Dass, he said, "Everyone deserves to be treated with kindness, grace, and compassion as we walk one another home." And I'll leave you with this quote: "We don't heal in isolation, but in community." And that leads us to our affirmation for the week. I am gentle with myself and the world, knowing we are all healing together. And now it's time for news and updates at our center here in Puerto Vallarta. If you are interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we will be offering the Foundations course via Zoom starting in September. And connect with me or check our website to find out the details. We will also be offering the Spanish version of the first year of practitioner studies in person. So connect with me if you are interested in taking this. Also, let me know if there is another workshop, a book study, or a course that you are interested in taking, or even a meditation. And if you would like to have a one-on-one connection, connect with me so we can make an appointment for this. What else do we have for news? If you would like to be part of our community here and commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living in Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as memberships do renew annually, then please contact me for the current form. And if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me as well for your application. And I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And now it's our time for mindful giving in support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give, no matter the amount, and your contributions are circulated by our tithing to our greater organization, which reaches out globally as well as locally. And we also tithe to a local women's shelter that assists women and children that have left an abusive home and allows them the opportunity to become grateful for the assistance to become productive and successful members of the community. So donations can be made on our website or through our website, www.cslpv.org. And you can find both the PayPal and Tidely buttons on our landing page, as well as on the page of the weekly recorded talks. Alternatively, if you still like to write out a paper check, you can do so by addressing it to CSLPV number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y 8M1. And now please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you. Namaste.